Welcome back everyone, this is Dirch, and in today's video I wanted to go over alternate weapons for my Twisted Pimp build. I'm often asked this, and the reason why is two of the guns in this build are some of the rarest guns in the game to get, or hardest guns in the game to get, I would say. With the Becca, as you can see, this beautiful gun in my hands and one of the most beautiful maps in the game. And the other one is the Twister. Both these guns are a pain in the ass to get. The Twister because Ak is a pain in the ass to farm, and then he still, has a chance not to drop it. He sucks. And the Becca is one of the new sets of pearls that, oh my god, what the hell, doesn't drop. And you can only get it from Tubbies, which have an incredibly crowded loot pool. So it can be really hard to get a Becca, and then to get a Becca with good parts even harder. So I wanted to go over some alternatives, but I'm going to go over some other gear alternatives anyways. Here's the build. As you've seen, my build video will be linked below. So the Becca was a replacement for the Pimpernel, or the Shock Pimpernel, I should say, because I was sometimes running low on ammo, and this gun kind of performed at equal levels to it. So with this spot, it's not important that this is an assault rifle. The important parts of the Becca is it's neutral, because this is fire and corrosive, and occasionally you'll run into enemies where, like a fire alpha skag that is not weak to fire and resist corrosive, and you might not want to get close to. So you want a medium to long range gun that has a neutral element. You just want a non-sniper. So that opens up quite a few options. One here is the Bitch SMG, great damage potential, great range. The Hammer Buster, if you want to kind of keep it with the assault rifle family, is one. The Gatling gun is one of my favorite alternatives. This thing rocks an insane amount of damage, as you can see there. Big time damage. And it kind of feels like the Becca, because it is a Jacobs AR. I kind of like it a little better than the Hammer Buster, to be honest. This thing is just a ton of fun to play with. Although the Hammer Buster is probably slightly better. Another alternative would be the Lady Fist. Again, pick it in kind of a neutral element, and that would be good. Now, the Twister is not there because it's shock, even though it's my only shock weapon. You don't really need shock in this game. The pre-sequel, you probably want shock a little bit more. But the Twister is there for when enemies are too close range for your Pimpernels to work properly. As you can see, Gatling gun does work. So the Twister, obviously there's some really good shotgun alternatives. You can go with a I should also say, you want it somewhat neutral. So the best alternative, probably, before I go to that butcher there, is probably the Herald. This is incredibly easy to get. It is element neutral. It's incredibly powerful. Even though I just kind of did a video recently kind of shitting on this gun because I don't particularly love it, it is good. Although, notice the Gatling gun killed faster, I think, than the Herald. Just saying, Gatling gun fucking rocks. Other alternatives would be a Butcher that is in a neutral element, so not fire. The Quad is always a good choice. I mean, the Twister is essentially a better quad, but if a quad's easier to find, it doesn't have to be Citrine. That's just the one I had. Same thing with the Coach gun. Very good alternative. The Jolly Roger is a really good alternative too, and that's in this Pirate DLC, so I'm probably going to run around with that and kill some enemies. Some other ones I had here, well, the Blockhead is not neutral element. It is just so fucking good that it doesn't give a shit. So really, if you have any powerful gun that fits this role where you're pretty element neutral, so you can just deal with whatever gets in your face and blow it away. Yeah, so usually shotguns or something like the Herald. You could almost use the Hail for that. But yeah, so this is going to be my alternates. Now, with the Pimpernels, I wouldn't really change. When you change those, you're no longer in this build, and they're quest rewards. Now, the Blockade, I didn't bring in another shield here, but the Blockade is a shield you need to get beat raid bosses to have, and you don't always have that. So A few good alternatives would be turtle shields. Turtle shields work really well with Maya. Some other ones would be the Neo. Works really well. I thought you were dead. Oh. There you're dead. Couldn't get to his back spot. Or any adaptive shields in general do pretty well. And although I know turtles and adapters are kind of opposites, they all kind of work. Where is my Gatling gun? There we go. There you go. So you can kind of see that working. Now the skags are coming. For the grenades, honestly, the Quasar is pretty important to Rabbids. Or did I phase lock the wrong one? So you can see this isn't quite a Twister, but these are Rabbids on me. But this gun gets the job done. Those are Rabbid skags in my face. Most other things would have died a lot easier. So yeah, it's a lot of it's about not the gun itself, but about what the gun does. And like I said, the Gatling gun kills shit. Insanely well. This is one, in my opinion, one of the most underrated guns in the game. So, you know, it is a world drop, so, you know, you might have trouble finding one, I guess, but if you're just kind of farming vendors or the snowman chest, it's not too bad. Oh, shock skag. Bounce some bullets off him. And there are a lot of enemies out here. Alright, get away from the enemy so I can shoot that guy. And life tab will save me from that rabbit. Alright, let's get away from these dudes for a second. I'm going to avoid using my pimps here. Actually, I'm going to switch my Jolly Roger to a... Yeah. God, I love coaches. Kind of show you a few different gun alternatives. Maybe I'll switch off the Gatling gun here. But these guys are a good example of why you want neutral elements. They resist a ton of elemental damage and splash damage. But if you have a non-elemental, they just die. Where's that other enemy? See an enemy. Oh, there you are. But you can see how well a coach gun to the face at close range does. In case you don't want to go full quad. Maybe here I've used the Gatling gun enough. I will switch over to the Hammer Buster, actually. Give you guys an idea of the power of the Hammer Buster, because maybe not everyone's actually that familiar with it. So here I don't have access to a crit spot, but it doesn't matter. The Gatling gun does take multiple ammo per shot, so it is more ammo heavy, but if it's only on your assault rifle, it's not that bad. But the Hammer Buster is incredibly powerful and ammo efficient.
Stop.
You can see how well it deals with those guys. It's just fucking good. Alright. Once again, no spotted as crit, but one nice thing about the Hammer Buster, it is a dull barrel, so it's very low recoil for Jacob's AR, and very accurate. And the base damage is just massively high, as you can see there. Whoa, another one. But yeah, if you guys don't like the Becca's recoil, you'll like the Hammer Buster. Because this thing, as you can see, very accurate. And where is your back spot? There we go, okay. So yeah, the Hammer Buster, if you've played with this and you like Jacob's ARs as I do, both the Gatling gun and the Hammer Buster are good choices. The Hammer Buster might be easier to get because you have a dedicated drop source of, I believe his name is McNally in the Dust, who's really easy to get to, really easy to kill. He's a pretty easy farm. But those are good alternatives. Like I said, quads and coach guns aren't that hard to come by. Jolly Roger, I forgot where you get the Jolly Roger off the top of my head. But the blockade, maybe I'll switch that for a little bit. You guys saw that. I'll go away from some Jacobs for a bit. There we go. The blockhead, not the blockade. You get from the Minecraft room. So again, it's not too tough to get. I like how those things don't scale damage. Alright, where are these guys? Are they coming up here?
Hold it right there.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of hit his spot there. But yeah, this gun, it's just stupid good. So it's always a good choice, not that hard to get. I mean, there's so many good shotguns. Now, you'll notice I do not have a few on me that you might have thought about with like the interface and conference call, but those aren't really the greatest like close range guns. So they're not really the best guns for this build in those spots. Where are you? And although they're really good shotguns, like I said, they don't really fit the role that this build needs.
Grenade out.
Oops, that's not my... I used it once. Oh, he fell over it when I was about to hit him in the head. I wanted to show you don't even really need slag with this gun, but he proved difficult. So you can see you can easily whip through the game with a lot of these choices. And these aren't the only ones. They're just some of the options here. So this guy's getting a bit close. And just deal with it.
Hold it right there. You're done.
Just trying to keep him up and get this guy by bouncing the bullets underneath. But yeah, you can see all these alternatives are working pretty damn well for the most part. I guess I'll get away from assault rifle territory here and go to something like the bitch. Because obviously this is a really good gun. Now, the class mod, the Siren kind of defines this, but you guys see me run this with the Trickster and some other stuff, so you can use some other comms. This is kind of set up where it's pretty neutral. Now, if you are going to the Trickster build and you can't find a Siren comm, let's say you get a purple Twister, I would definitely take one out, if I can aim, Jesus. I would definitely take one out of suspension and put it in kinetic reflection if you find a purple Twister not Twister. Jesus Christ. I am drawing a blank on the class mod name. That's pretty dumb. You know what I'm talking about? The Trickster. Yeah, not Twister, Trickster. Oh, come on. Hit his backpack. There we go. So yeah, so if you get a purple one of those with all three of the skills, I'd definitely alter the build and just put a point in there. Because that's just smart. If I was running a full-time Trickster, I would be doing that anyways. But I usually just kind of toss a point in there for the fun of it. And then I think the last gun I didn't show yet is the Lady Fist. Which I don't actually love the Lady Fist. I mean, it's really good and all, but I just don't... I'm not the biggest fan of using it. It's a damn good gun. Not saying it's not. It's just not my favorite gun. I actually enjoy the bitch more, oddly. Whoa. That guy threw me off. And it's time for Blockhead, because these guys are grouped up like assholes. See, a gun for each purpose. Get these guys grouped up again. Where's Sandman? Did he run away? He was down here playing with us. Alright, now he's up there. And there we go. So that's pretty much this map and all the alternative gear. I don't know what I didn't cover. You know, the Quasar can be a bitch to get, and really, any singularity you can use. You really want a singularity grenade with this, though. Singularities really make the build. And there's no other red text singularity other than the Quasar, sadly, that I can think of. I'm pretty sure there's not. The Quasar is definitely the best, but, you know, if you can't get your hands on one, because you get them from Ultimate Badass Varkids, and that can be a pain in the ass to get them. Although they're not that bad now that they increase their spawn rates. Just kill them before Vermi comes. In fact, Vermi's a bitch to get, and the Quasar is better than the Norfleet anyways. So just kill the UBAs and get yourself a Quasar. But yeah, their Quasars are kind of crucial to how this works. Or just at least make the build a lot better, having that constant singularity pull. So if you find just a regular singularity before you have a Quasar, that's a good alternative as well. And maybe these also help if, you know, you're kind of leveling into the build, and, you know, obviously you're probably not going to be able to get a Becca at any point. You can't get one before 62, so, you know, good luck on some of that stuff. But some of these other guns are pretty easy to come by when you have a lot of options. So remember, when you're looking for alternate guns, when you can't get those rare guns yet, it's more about the purpose of the gun than the gun itself, and that's what you want to concentrate filling that spot with. So I guess, you know, to recap real quick, the Becca's about a neutral element, mid to long range, powerful gun that can take care of business when you get low on Pimpernel ammo, or sometimes there's just stuff that the Pimp doesn't work the greatest on. The Twister is all about, you know, essentially a neutral shotgun, even though, again, this one is fire. It's just that goddamn good. But something that's really just point-blank range for the most part, for when you get enemies too close to a really sweet spot with your Pimps, and you need to just take them out quickly before you get pummeled. And that's the role of the shotgun spot, which can also be done really well with the Herald, which is insanely easy to get. So if you're having a hard time filling that spot, you know, if you pick up a Herald for that, and then go farm a Hammer Buster instead of the Becca, you got your two Pimpernels. I mean, you're doing pretty close to the build. So, as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you all later. Bye.